Wonderful. Welcome back, my dear friends. There was a technical issue, and now Gehna would be audible to every one of us. And Deep Talks Virtual Reality on Love and Relations is actually hosting a beautiful soul, someone who has created a lot of love for everybody around and has touched many lives while dancing, painting, and doing a lot, much more work than you can even expect a single lady can do. So I'm sure Gehna, with her smile and with her identities formed through these organizations. And as a mother, as a woman of substance, I would say it's my honor and my pleasure to have her with me on the launch episode of Deep Talks because it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of grit and power to be holding that kind of position and still be grounded. And that's what I have connected to for with Gehna because somewhere I felt when I actually first communicated with Gehna on Messenger, she was so polite in even answering me that why not Gurleen? I would love to come. And I was feeling so happy that, oh my God, we can form friends just like that on a click. And it is such a beautiful click that I am so privileged that we can, sitting far across, we can still connect and talk to a lot many people. So, Gehna, you were talking about something before the technical issue arrived, and you were
Yes,
talking about
yes,
something that was very important.
yes. So I was talking about my dance journey and how I did not enjoy dance as much, the Indian classical dance, because mentally I was this very Western girl who wanted to wear the tutu skirts and ballerina shoes and go on my tippy toes. So, like all girls. And later on, I connected with one more guru, and my daughter and me joined Bharatanatyam again. We trained for a while, and then I started choreographing my own ballets and pieces. And as and when I got the opportunity to culturally present
Wow.
something, I enjoyed this a lot. And I'm very proud to say that I'm a classical dancer who may not be performing very regularly, but irregularly regular I am.
Wow, wow, that is fantastic. Gena mentioned something that irregularly regular I am, and that's a fantastic sentence to even mention because it's a confession that once you are passionately driven to something, my dear viewers, it takes nothing. It is effortless. You would love to go back to that work which you are passionate about, and I believe life without passion is not actually lived. So, what is your take on Gena when passion becomes your work? I believe it's a beautiful journey. People are working, but they're not interested in their work. So, I would love to know is are you resonating with the thought that I'm having that I'm quite passionate about counseling people and being there on talk shows and talking about something that people hesitate to talk about, and somewhere somebody has to start the initiative. So I picked on this
True.
initiative of breaking the barriers to talk about sex, sensuality, whether it was American Corners or whether it was in Chandigarh, Mohali, Panchkula, or being written in the newspapers, being honored as a woman of substance. I feel at the age of 36, I am doing what other women would fear taking a step forward, whether they are married, divorcee, or widowed. And it's a grand step because my parents are coming in from a defense background. Apart from that, I feel that meaning exists in your own work only when you feel satisfied with what you are doing and you are humble and grounded no matter the achievements you have in life. Somewhere that contentment factor is which should be important for every individual. So what is your take on
True.
passionate living?
Passionate living में तो जीता जागता उसका एक सबूत हूँ. So when your passion becomes your profession, you don't work a single day. There is a saying that goes like that, which is so true. I think two of us sitting across barriers, we don't even know both of us where we are at this point in time. You just spoke
Yeah.
about Chandigarh and Mohali. I'm very close to that. I'm in the north somewhere, and it's really cold here.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
yes, that's so, that's so
passion
nice.
and profession, it's in today's world, I would say, the youngsters of today, the youth of today are so lucky because पहले होता था डॉक्टर बनो इंजीनियर बनो फलाना बनो ढिमकाना बनो टुडे देयर इज नो dearth of what you want to be. You imagine it, you can become it, and you can become a celebrity in your own right, and you can be applauded for everything that you do. So there are a great many opportunities today, and everybody has the option of making their passion into their profession. पहले ऐसा नहीं होता था.
नहीं होता
So
था.
we are
True.
very blessed to be in these times, in spite of the current situation. We are still very blessed. We need to
True.
be
Very
counting our blessings, having an attitude of gratitude.
true, true. So, Gehna, I feel that somewhere some thought must have inspired you, and somewhere as a youngster or as a teenager, there would have been a role model in your life. Would you love to talk about someone who has inspired you apart from you being an inspiration to everybody? I'm sure that you are followed by not one but many people, and including me. So, I am a
How
biggest fan
sweet.
of yours. And
How sweet.
we do have a connect. We have Lakshmi Venkat with us who just mentioned that, oh, Gena is my friend as well. And I said, oh my God,
So sweet.
I think we are all
It's a
connected
small world.
somewhere.
We are all
Yeah, it's all
connected.
something. And I was watching a video of Archana Kochar also talking about how a brand can be made and how you have to work so hard to be today. Like, people are coming and talking to me and they're buying their apparels from me. But somewhere, what goes into the making of who she is. And I
True.
learned a lot. I felt that, somewhere I can also walk on the same footsteps. If not that, then at least learn from the nitties and
True.
gritties of how the business goes around and how things can
Absolutely.
go at the right corner and have a fashion label in the coming times. So
Hmm.
what is your take on having a role model in life, and may I know or may I have the privilege to even know who has inspired you somewhere in your mindset?
So, from the previous question, there's one thing that I'd like to add. You said about being grounded.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
Being grounded, मेरा ये मानना है कि पेड़ जितना फलदार होता है उतना झुका हुआ होता है. Are you with me on the language?
True, true, true.
So, most people who are uh, considered something are genuinely grounded people,
Very
most
right.
of them.
Very
Coming
right.
to your next topic, what was the next question that you asked me?
It was, I think, something related to a
My
role
role
model.
model. My
Role
role
model.
model. So, there is not one. In my journey of 50 years, there would
Wow.
be easily 50 women I would
Wow.
say have inspired me. I learn from each person, Gurleen. That would be
Wow.
you as well. In this 1 hour or less that we're going to spend with each other, there is something I'm going to take back from you, apart
Yes.
from great memories. I don't know what that will be. And I have learned and I've honed my skills silently observing so many people and coming to women in general. To name a few, late Mrs. Nargis Jetka, Mrs. Joy Mukherjee, Neela Mukherjee, my own mother,
Wow.
my chachis, my buas, my sisters, so many women, friends, um,
Wow.
so many role models. In the
Wow.
public domain, I would say I am a journalist because of Shobha De ma'am.
Wow. Wonderful. Wonderful. So
She
that's an honor
inspired
for us.
me to write, to become the person, the professional person that I am. I really look up to her.
So we would love to know, because now you have spoken about your public domain role model, Shobha De. I've read so many novels of her. What is that one quality that still makes you feel that Shobha De is different from others and that inspires you to the hilt? I mean, the audience would love to know, because Shobha De comes across as a very bold woman. I love her to hilt. I'm sure that
Me too.
everybody has something to learn from Shobha De, because she does not think hard enough to write down what she has to. It is just coming plain from the heart. So
Hmm.
what is that one quality, because you must have been very close to her, so we would love to know, in case if
No,
you
I
are.
don't. I don't really know her. I have met her once for a Sabyasachi show. I had the privilege of getting myself clicked with her.
Wow.
Other than that, my love for sarees, apart from my mother, Shobha has a large role in that. And my love for writing, the way I think there are a lot of similarities in us, uh, generally and genuinely. I
Wow.
see myself in her, and obviously not vice versa. But
True.
what is the one thing that sets her apart? Her guts.
Yes, true.
Her guts.
Somewhere, true, somewhere. That is what I would say that, somewhere that also brings me to a level why I also resonate with that thought that a woman with class only has to come with guts. If she has guts, she can, move the world. And for that,
Also,
you have to, yeah,
yeah, also Gurleen, she has woven such a large family
yes,
together so
true.
beautifully.
So
You know,
beautifully.
6 children, dogs, the works,
Wonderful, wonderful.
but so many books, pata bhi nahi chala. So a
Yeah,
woman is blessed with so many qualities, and
true.
when she weaves it well, so the
Yes.
embroidery comes out beautiful, and I would give credit to Shobha about that.
Yes, exactly. And that's wonderful because the women who will be watching this episode and the ones who will be watching this episode later, they will come to know that it takes a lot for women to, have multiple roles and still maintain their identity. For some people, walking in a sari is not that easy. But the ones who love sari, they know that how they can work in different attires and then still be confident. And I'm sure that you talked about Sabyasachi. So I would love to know that your sense of fashion is also driven by someone or some label or somewhere you are also a fashionista because I keep seeing your pictures and you enjoy dressing up. So basically, your style is what speaks about Gehna. More than Gehna, I've seen her in not much in saris as much as in the casual attires when I see in Western clothes. Gehna represents a different woman altogether. So, do you love
Hmm.
playing these kind of roles when there are functions? You love dressing up according to themes and going to parties and enjoying life because I think that's what even I love. I believe that style is more eternal than copying fashion or imitating fashion as such. And being a stylist myself, somewhere I feel that why not have a conversation on this that what really is fashion and what really defines fashion and how style is different from fashion according to you.
So, style is what you are made up of. Fashion is what others are making out of it. And like
True,
you correctly said, style remains. Style is something that's unique to you. Fashion is
true,
common to all. So, style
true,
is personal, fashion is
true,
public.
true.
है ना?
Yeah.
Talking
So,
about you not seeing me in saris, you need to go visit Sari Club, which is also something that
wow,
I've initiated.
that
So,
is that.
by the way, today I'm wearing the first sari of the season, which was gifted to me.
Wow, wow, that is an honor for me because on this
So,
episode, oh my God, it's a
so
pleasure. It's a
every
pleasure.
so my personality is such, like you asked me, I enjoy dressing to the occasion. When in
Yeah,
Rome, do as the Romans do. When in Maharashtra, do as the Maharashtrians do.
Maharashtrians too. That is wonderful. I love it because
Having said that, sari is my all-time favorite garment,
wonderful.
and I'm very comfortable in it. I can do all my housework in it. I can wear it anytime. Sari is something that I collect. Sari is something that I design. So I have a fashion line called Gehna Sama. Sama is my daughter, who is also a
Wow,
writer, and she has 3 books to her credit. And
wow.
together between us, we handle this brand, and we specialize in saris.
Wonderful. So I think I'm going to have my next grab from Gehna, Gehna Sama, because that is something that I was looking forward for. When you said that Gehna Sama, I was trying to find out where this Sama would be coming from, because I can understand Gehna ka Gehna is a virtual, is a studio where you are working and you have your own show. So Gehna
Right.
Sama, I was thinking that maybe it is
अब
inspired
ये क्या
from
है?
some. Yeah, so that's beautiful because I believe love for saris is something that it is eternal. I mean, saris can be
Hmm.
kept in for years, and you can make
Yeah.
a lot many things out of a sari. And sari's
Right.
grace can never die. It can never die.
Right.
It fits in
Right.
any woman,
Right.
and a woman is more sensual, is more erotic in a sari. Because if I see the
Hmm.
Bollywood movies and if I see the love for saris the men hold in their eyes, I mean, it is
Hmm.
beautiful. It is just beautiful. The
Hmm.
way the sari
Hmm.
drapes, it is beautiful. So
True.
Which brand do you prefer? Like, I mean, I'm sure that I would love to ask this question. When it comes to saris, you have your own label. So
So I have
apart from
my
that,
own label. So apart from that, I shop at the most ordinary places. I like to
wow,
do local shopping. I go and pick up. I outsource also for my brand. Other than that, for personal wearing, I like saris from Banaras. They don't have to be coming from a branded house.
particular brand. Yeah.
They don't need to at all. And I am very happy buying saris from Garyahat in
Wow.
Calcutta or from the weavers in Banaras or Paitani from the Maharashtrian villages, all
Yes.
over. My saris are from all over. There's a place
Wow.
called Chickpet in Bangalore, which is a wholesale market. People from
Wholesale market.
South will resonate with where I'm talking about. And I buy
Yes.
a lot of my temple saris from there. uh, but if
One.
I have to answer you for brand, the closest person mentally to my sensibilities is Sabyasachi.
True. That is beautiful because Sabyasachi has, it is a name. He resonates with fashion and style like anything. It
And
is,
but one more thing, apart, so I'm not talking about Sabya saris. I'm not talking
yeah,
about Sabya lehengas. I'm talking
yeah.
about Sabya showrooms. My
Showrooms, yeah.
sensibilities are similar to his design patterns.
Wow, that's terrific. And it is amazing because when I was getting married, my mother, gifted me a Satyapal sari. Somewhere I fell in love with it because it was like a satin sari with all the peacock colors on it. And I was feeling that, oh my God, let
Beautiful.
me treasure it. Let me treasure it and I'll wear it on a special occasion somewhere. But then
True.
as time went by, I learned that we should not preserve or keep our saris for some
True.
special moments. We should wear
Hmm.
because life is to be lived. So
Absolutely.
I realized it that okay, I was planning it for a bigger thing, but somewhere in life,
Hmm.
nothing is as big as the moment we are in. And that's
True.
how I decided
The
that,
power of
we should,
now.
yes, the power of now. So we should not keep our clothes in the boxes and think about another
Yeah.
day. If someone invites us, we can always wear it and move along.
True.
So,
Use the
so
silver, eat in the china.
true, true, very true. That is wonderfully stated by you. It is coming from your heart. So, Gehna,
Yeah.
apart from everything that you're having,
Hmm.
do you think that people who manipulate live better, or the ones who are honest to themselves in their work, they live better life?
Ah, very tricky question, Gurleen. Very tricky
Very
question.
tricky, but very tricky, but something that resonates with deep talks because there are people who come on this show and they talk something that's honest. And I believe that why not be honest about such things because somewhere it is good to manipulative where you need to earn money, because in this
Hmm.
world honest people face a lot of struggles like I am personally speaking.
Hmm.
After a divorce, building an identity, I don't have a website, but I'm very sure that my name has gone across the globe from France, Paris. People are calling up to be on the show. So
Hmm.
sooner or later, with God's grace, I would be somewhere, somewhere known to many more people. So
Right. Of
I would be
course.
doing, yeah, I would be making money, but then that's a byproduct of my name and fame. So I would
Hmm.
love to know from you that the truth behind the reality of life, that we should live a guiltless life and not harm anybody in the process of manipulation, because there are a lot of people who harm while building money. The businessmen or so-called people, lawyers, advocates, and doctors, even including psychologists, it's difficult to even mention this, but there are some souls who are trying to manipulate to a level that it harms the public and the level of their own mental health. So that's why I'm
Hmm.
asking this question.
So, like I said, a tricky question, each to his own. But because you've asked me this, it's like Satyug versus Kalyug, is what you're
True,
talking about.
true.
So, even though a person like me, I consider myself a simpleton for all my outer style or whatever glamour, whatever one comes across as a personality, I'd say I'm a simple person. But then each person would think that there is no one holier than thou.
Yes, very
हर
right.
कोई ये अपने बारे में सोचता होगा, I guess.
True, very right.
Having said that, today's day manipulations are the way the cookie crumbles.
Cookie
People
crumbles.
don't think twice before getting things done their way. No matter किसका क्या बिगड़ता है, किसका घर टूटता है, किसका कुछ होता है, they are not interested.
Not
They
possible.
are
Not possible.
interested in what they want.
True, very
So,
true.
as a psychologist, you and as somebody who counsels people at a very strong level, I would say self-focus is good, but
True.
selfishness नहीं होना चाहिए.
नहीं होना चाहिए. That's right. That's
Hmm.
very right. And that's what I am
So
trying to
people like me go to sleep आराम से, and people who have wrestle every night, उनको नींद ही नहीं आती है.
True, very true, and that is an honest confession with a hearty laughter of yours, and that stands so true, my dear friends and the viewers. Thanks a lot for joining us today evening. We are just continuing the conversation with Gehna while she sips her tea or coffee, and I am
It's
I'm
some
sure
black
that
coffee.
black coffee, and that's what I sipped just before the show, and I feel so nice that somewhere the casual conversations and the candid ones appear to be something that's memorable and cherishable later on, and the
True.
world needs to know that how comfortable can you be with the conversations and how people can be friends, like breaking the barriers to befriend strangers was a taboo and still is a taboo. So what's your take on meeting and socializing new people, Gehna? Do you really believe that network is net worth? Because these days people are wanting to connect to people, but somewhere some people fail in developing good connections and they still stagnate there. They feel that they have lost the hope on building their business to a level. Do you have some tips for these kind of people who feel depressed or lonely as to how they can build up their life a little bit more better? Could be some tips that can brighten their lives. Like, I'm sure that the Sri Astitva organization, you're the founder of it, must be doing really very great. That's why there are many women out there who are feeling depressed and lonely sitting at home, but they have that art, they have that passion, and they have all the creative aspects to them, but they don't utilize them for their betterment. So some tips for the viewers who are watching us so that they can channelize their energies and not feel that they're deprived of the love, attention, and any kind of friend who can actually be there only if you ask for help, because that's why I started this program.
Hmm. So network is net worth. Very well put by you. That's true. So I run two groups for networking,
Okay.
whereby just like Stri Astitva, one is
True.
only for the Stris, and then I had decided कि why just Stris, why not Shris? उन्होंने बेचारों ने क्या गलत किया है? So then I started Shri Astitva, and ये कहना है ना कि behind every successful man there's a woman, behind every successful woman sometimes there is a man also, and so gender based.
True.
Question. Networking in today's world is very, very important. But
True.
your credibility will not just be so only by networking. Then you
True.
will only be a socialite.
True.
So at the end of the networking channel, which I have must have created for very many people, there has to be some worth of what you are networking for.
True.
What you're selling, be it a product, be it a service, and the after service, which is the most important part of your sales.
True. Very true.
है ना?
That is so important.
Coming to the other point of your question about depression and loneliness. So somewhere each person, like हमारे गीता में लिखा है, you come alone, you go alone. But en route we find people who will walk this journey with us in the name of husband, partner, lover, children, whatever it may be. But loneliness is something each person goes through at some point or the other. It is
True.
up to each individual what to make out of it,
True.
how to go about that. And
Yes.
surprisingly, like this voice that I'm talking with, each person is unique in their looks, in their voice, in their problems. Each
True.
person has a unique problem और पूरी दुनिया दुखी है. ये fact
True.
है.
This is a fact. It's a fact.
है ना? Now it is up to us कि how we walk the journey of the next totally 70, 80, 90, 100 years, whatever may be given to us.
Given to us.
So loneliness is not something that you can tell somebody, बेटा आज से आप lonely नहीं होने वाले हो. You know,
True. True.
these are
That's
some things, or depression. There are, of course, there are psychologists like yourself. There is medicine. There are whatever other ways. At the end, you have to help yourself.
true.
At
True.
the end of it all.
That is so honest. That is a great, honest confession by Gehna that, which I totally agree with and resonate with, my dear viewers, that God will only help those people who help themselves. And I totally agree with this because somewhere, if you do not ask for help and if you're sitting lonely and you expect to become an Ambani or you have to become a top notch businessman, you cannot become that until unless you move forward and initiate. And there has to be some kind of proactive action within your life. And you cannot procrastinate and say that, okay, in dreams, you will be chasing your biggest achievements. It cannot happen until and unless you ask for help. So it never happened that if I would have to bring Gena on this show, I'm sure that I had to take those actions. So somewhere, my dear friends and the viewers who are watching me, it's not necessary that you have to go out and look for psychological assistance. If you're living in a joint family, you can ask for help and guidance and resolve the issues. But somewhere, these joint families are becoming nuclear and people are wanting to prefer to live alone. Single people who are there, widows and divorcees who are there, there are people who are deprived of that attention, love that comes along with luxury filled families where people are blessed enough. So you all need to understand the importance of a psychologist, whether be it me or someone whom you can confide in. You should often go and ask for help, and then only your life will progress. So, Gehna, any one particular achievement of your life that you totally cherish and you feel that that was a remarkable point from where you couldn't have asked for more? I mean, that one achievement of yours in your life that you would truly love to speak on Deep Talks.
Difficult question again. Life is a series of achievements. At every given padhao, like KBC में padhao hota है, at every given padhao or juncture, you feel this is my best achievement. And then
Yes,
you go and raise your own bar. In my case, I go on reinventing myself. But I'd say my journey of the last 4 years, which includes all the things that I have founded, my personal inward journey, is
wow,
something that I am very proud about. Um, Given an opportunity like mine, somebody else would have crumbled. So
yes,
I feel that I have gone through this phase in a very, very elegant, very, very unique manner. Like I said, all of us are unique. We have our own ways, or we need to find our own ways of going through things.
true,
So
true,
there's no one particular achievement that I would that would even come to my mind. But whatever I have done for women like us who have it all but don't know what to do with themselves, or have
true,
lost their identity somewhere, it has diluted in the family atmosphere or in whatever it is that we dedicate ourselves completely to doing. And at the end of the journey, a woman finds that she stands alone. So who is
true,
she? This
true.
question mark is what I feel Sri Astitwa has helped many women to realize. And I think this is one of my achievements amongst
That's
very
wonderful.
many.
That's wonderful, and I totally agree with it. And there's so many achievements that we happen to have in our lives that we fail to even talk about one because they all are teaching us something or the other, Gehna. And I'm so sure
True.
that that during your life's beautiful walk, during all the phases, being from a single lady to being married, I would love to ask you because Deep Talks is all about love and relationships. What are the key points that you feel should be there in a healthy relationship? I mean, there are souls who are dying in toxic relationships these days, and they are
Hmm.
flipping their partners, and they are. again, neglected, ignored. And some women, I believe, you must be agreeing on this fact, that some Indian women do believe that, taking on the pressure and being a doormat is still a preferred option. To which I totally disagree. And I feel that if you are not able to live a healthy life with a partner, then you should spread your wings and you should create your own identity. I'm sure that you'll agree with me on that score. And so, what kind of tips should be there for living a healthy relationship?
So very subjective again. Each marriage is very complicated, Gurleen.
Yes,
And the fact that marriage is actually an adoption. So we are basically friends who are trying to get along, all of us, isn't it?
true,
तो अब फ्रेंड
true,
से नहीं बनती है तो ठीक है, यू स्टॉप टॉकिंग टू दैट पर्सन. अब अगर हस्बैंड से किसी की नहीं बनती है तो वो बहुत बड़ा ठप्पा हो जाता है, डिवोर्स लग जाता
true,
है.
true,
बेसिकली क्या है, एक दोस्ती ही तो है ना,
true.
which is going further. It's an adoption, like I read someone say recently. What is the most important key to a good, healthy relationship is communication.
Wonderful.
Communication,
True,
according to me.
true, true,
And how each person goes about is very individualistic. You cannot, there is no a set pattern. What will work for Gehna will not work for Gurleen. What will work for Gurleen may not work for Anita, and
true,
so on and so forth.
true,
So,
true.
yeah,
That is so
about about
correct.
about your point, whether one should suffocate in a relationship or spread one's wings, or be a doormat. So sometimes पुराने जमाने की शादियां बहुत चलती थी, तो क्यों चलती
True.
थी? It's not because there were not problems then, but there were
Yes,
lesser options. So
yes,
today the women have more options, and hence the divorce rates have also gone up. So that's not such a good thing either. The
yeah,
options are a good thing.
true,
The divorce rates are not such a good thing.
true.
So somewhere, I'm not saying women should be doormats, please. Don't misread me. But औरत में एक वो खूबी है कि वो she has that extra in the ordinary.
True.
God has gifted her with this. Hence there is Mother India. Hence there is Ma. You know, Ma has a very important
Important
connotation in our
connotation.
context because we are
Yes,
gifted with those capabilities or abilities. Coming back
true.
to the marriage front, so other if one person is a little subdued and a marriage works out where there is a family,
Yes,
उसमें बुराई क्या है? And you
Burak.
can still spread your wings, you can still become the person you want to become,
True,
isn't it?
true.
You do not
That is
have to break relationships uh, legally, or unless there are some great issues like wife beating or
yes,
mental torture or whatever it may be, various abuses. Other than that, if you can save a relation, I would say save it
true. That
and
is wonderful.
still
Yeah,
find
yeah.
yourself.
That's so wonderfully stated. Like when I gave up my own marital journey, my dear viewers, it's a very personal thing that I'm sharing on Deep Talks now. It is there in the book Breakdown to Wake Up by Jocelyn Bellows, and it's out there on Amazon. You all can grab a copy and come to know more of me. Where I'm sure that I talked about my journey. It's I always wanted to work in the relationship rather than give up. But
Right.
until and unless you feel that okay, you're just having that Mrs. Tag and there is nothing, not even 1% coming in from the second person, then it is like a car moving. You cannot move single-handedly, and one-sided approach never works.
True.
So plus physical abuse, no lady will take on. So if I've
Shouldn't.
had,
Nobody should
yeah,
take that.
yes, nobody should take that. So I totally agree with it. I felt that as a psychologist, if I'm doing this injustice to myself by just putting up there as a doormat and carrying the Mrs. tag and being in the army glamour life, then I think I'm not doing justice to the education given to me by my father, who also served in the Air Force and is a gallantry awardee and he's done good for the country. So where am I? I'm coming from a great family. If I cannot be independent enough to raise myself again to a level to feel
Hmm.
free and cherish
Hmm.
whatever the years are holding for me, maybe another man
Right.
comes in my life and knows the
Why not?
importance and worth. Yeah, why not? Why
Why
not live a
not?
life? Why not? I mean, that was the question, and that hit me so well that I thought that why not sign the papers and start, flying, and the sky is the
True.
limit.
Why
You can
not?
still. you can still have the choice of dating many men and having relationships with people. So you come to know from where things are moving the way you would want them to move. So
True.
it's very difficult for a divorcee to have an identity in today's world, because it becomes a taboo for people to talk about and stigmatize divorce ladies as such. So I
Hmm.
always say I'm a very happy divorced woman. Now,
Yeah.
why I say this is because you need to be happy in whatever you do. If you have taken the
Right.
responsibility, then you should stand by it and then should work
Hmm.
yourself for betterment. You should not stagnate and you should not repent and relent. Oh my God, crib. I don't crib about what happened. I am today because of the person who came in my life. So, with due respect, with whatever he did as a husband, I feel that I should be just proving to other women that do not subjugate to a standard that lowers your own self esteem, self respect, and self worth. You have your own voice. One voice, one action, and one story can make a difference globally. And that's why I
True.
chose this platform. And I feel that because Tri Astatva is also talking about something that's about identity. So, what a better idea it could have been to start my 2021 with you, Gehna. Because Gehna, I always feel that I'm more inspired by the name of yours. Gehna is something, a jewelry. It is something, it's very important and precious.
Right.
The most important Gehna I believe in my life has been truth. So I
Hmm.
have been blessed with spiritual enlightenment, having seen Lord Shiva in many forms of lords and goddesses. I feel that if
Hmm.
I have been moving around, making that karmic cycle of mine a little more worthy for people to understand that some people are spiritually resonating at a higher energy. And when they
Right.
catch those vibes, they make connections that truly can help them and make them move forward. So that's
Hmm.
how word Gehna struck my thought process, and I felt that okay, this is one another lady who has endured a lot, who's been there, who's seen there in the world, but somewhere I needed to bring her here and have a talk with her to make her
Hmm.
feel that okay, there is one more fan of yours, because
How
somewhere
sweet.
when you are friends, you feel soulfully connected to few people.
True.
So I was moved to your soul to a level that your energy was so positive, and I have to compliment on you for that, because I'm sure that
Thank
your
you.
daughter must be resonating with it. What I'm trying to say is that that is the reason why you created Sri Astatva. Somewhere people are
Yes.
trying to be in it because you have that power that can move many other souls out there who are having an outcry. Maybe something that I truly resonated with at a point of time till I released it in the book form. And it's a story which is globally there. I'm sure that you would also love to grab a copy, or I would rather
100%.
autograph it and send you across, because
I would
that would
love
be
that,
something.
Gurleen.
Yeah, I would be happy that if you can share that and spread the word across, because that's something that is making
100%.
an identity. So, and
Hmm.
Ramneet has said, excellent, Gehna ma'am, whatever you have said is so true. So there is a
How sweet.
question
Thank
by
you,
a
Ravneet.
visually impaired friend of mine. She has says,
Hmm.
why is it very necessary for a blind person to prove herself in all areas of life, especially in terms of relationships, when that blind lady is self-independent in mostly all areas of life? Would you love to answer this question, Gehna?
What is the question? What is she asking? That does she need to prove herself in a relationship?
She's saying that despite being self-independent as a blind lady, why is it
Hmm.
very necessary for her to prove herself in all areas of life, and especially in the terms of relationships?
No, she does not. Not at all. But like we all said, we need somebody to walk this journey with us, to hold our hands physically or mentally. If she feels the need to have a partner to walk this path, only then she needs to have somebody. Otherwise, आज के ज़माने में are you settled is not are you married. Are you
Yeah,
settled is are you financially
wonderful,
settled.
wonderful, wonderful.
है ना?
And I'm sure Gargi Halder, if you're watching this, Gena has rightfully answered your question, and I'm sure that you must be satisfied on that note. And there is very important aspect of being a woman, Gena. I feel that whether you are married, whether you're single, whether you're divorcee or widowed, I totally agree that even with gentlemen, I'm sure that this resonates with everybody actually. How much is
Hmm.
self-care important, Gena? Do we lose in the mad race of earning money, that we need to devote some time to ourselves? And how do you prioritize the self care in your life?
Self-care is very, very important. Again, there are two sides to self-care. One is the physicalities of what you look like, what you
True,
wear, what you dress. And the second is the inward, what you eat, how you
true,
live your day. And the third is even deeper, which is here, your spirituality, how you feed your mind. So I would say all three are very, very important in equal portions. To look good is, I think, the most important part. Your mirror should tell you that, hi, sweetie, you're looking lovely today. You don't
true.
need anybody else to say that, right?
Very right.
And
Right.
you need to go and take time off and do your hair, do your spa, do whatever that makes you feel good. Dress up, buy a sari, buy a pair of shorts, buy a bikini, whatever it is that makes you happy.
True.
Um, what you eat, how you treat your body, whether you work out, whether you're into fitness, which is a big topic of today, is part of the care, self care, I would say.
True. True.
Definitely devote time to yoga, to a gym. Everybody has said this, so I don't like to speak about things that are repetitive. ये तो एक common sense है. A
Common
is
sense.
for apple. We've grown up on
True.
that.
True.
Uh, Spirituality is a big topic today, thanks to the internet, and we have so many gurus all around us.
True.
But you can be your own guru, I would say. You don't
Yeah.
have to follow somebody unless
True.
that somebody inspires you enough
True.
to become a Pied Piper.
True.
Otherwise, you can train your own mind, you can be your own guru, you can be your own psychologist,
True.
is
That
what
is
I
so
my take is.
That is so nice and that's so wonderfully stated because I do resonate on that level that you don't need to follow some rituals or rites until and unless you're doing good work and you are happy within yourself because somewhere I believe your body is your temple. So some
It
people
is.
often yeah, so some people often believe that just because I would say that I'm enlightened, some people thought that I would be visiting gurdwaras more often or temples more often, but then I feel that you know what, your body is your own temple. If you do not do good work and you are not doing justice to your own self, I think is also not happy with it. So He's given you a
True.
life, and you need to just work on the normal course of life and help everybody if you can with whatever you are having, the resources you are
And
having.
harm nobody.
Yeah, and harm nobody, my dear viewers, because that is something that you need to take care of. When you are moving up in the ladder, sometimes people fly in the cloud nine, but somewhere that cloud nine doesn't help to go longer. What remains with you
True.
is the humble attitude and the acts of gratitude that you need to pay to Lord, to your parents, because they are your gurus, whether good or bad. They are your parents, and you need to respect them for whosoever, because they have given you the birth, they have given you the identity. Now, apart from that identity, we all are there to make our walks even more better, and that could be with our own creative potential, our own passions and hobbies, and with our education. And there is no point being educated if you're not even having that proactive approach towards applying it in your daily lives, my dear viewers. So if you're watching this deep talks, it is meaningful talks, and it is something that is talking about all the facets of life experiences. And we are so glad that you all have joined us during this conversation, because my biggest Gehna today for this evening would be that this conversation itself is important. Communication is really very important for any kind of relationship. So be it your spiritual connect with the Lord above, or be it with your friends. If you are lonely, I believe you cannot be lonely because you still communicate with your inner voice. There is an inner
Hmm.
voice that you need to listen to, and you need to listen to that inner voice to gain the initiative and the courage to move ahead, take a step forward, because there are organizations that are looking forward for people to have them there, and you might be doing something that can be contributive enough for the progress of the nation at large. And this is something that I always bring forward with a thought, because a small thought started by me has become a global name now. It's inked in the book Breakdown to Wake Up, and I'm sure that everybody would love to grab a copy of it, including Gehna. I'm sure that she would
Yes.
love to read it. And it is such an honor, Gehna, to have you on my show, because very, very easily stated, it is not easier for people to connect and say yes on the first front. So let me confess, that you have been so, so kind, so generous, and with a smile, with a large heart. You always felt that, okay, I need to, come and I need to take out my precious time, because time is valuable for everyone. And I'm sure a lady like you, who's, moving from one role to another, switching roles, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. Apart from that, you have maintained yourself really very well. And there is
Thank
a lot that
you.
I have to learn from you. And I'm sure that we'll stay friends. But before that,
100%.
I would, love to have some special advice or tips for the viewers before we leave this conversation and we have an eternal friendship that carries forward. I would love you to share some excellent tips if you can, some kind
On
of advice that can act as a Gehna for people.
any particular topic or in general?
In general, for something that is valuable for them, and they can, have it in their lives, and as some tips that comes only from Gehna, because Gehna is a unique person itself. So anything coming from
Absolutely.
Gehna would be something that would be, you can say it could be something that could be meaningful.
So I would say खुद को कर इतना बुलंद कि हर तदबीर से पहले खुदा इतना तो कहे कि बता तेरी रजा क्या है बंदी. Make
True, that
yourself,
is
you
so
are
true.
important, make yourself valuable in your own eyes. I would say that. The rest will
Yeah,
follow automatically. Know your
true.
self-worth.
That is so important and so well said. I'm so glad that you said that, because that's an inspirational way to, just end this conversation, wherein the viewers who are watching us, she has rightly stated what I could not state in those words, because she's had a lot much experience than me in life. And I honor that. I respect her coming on my show. And with it, I would love to state that if you all would love to shoot out your queries to me, my email ID is flashing there, gurleenkhokhar@gmail.com. Reach out for services to open a window for a brighter tomorrow. And not only that, with Gehna, I would love to, announce this, that there's a party circuit episode announcement for the singles, for all those people around on this globe, on this planet. We can virtually have a party, once in 2 weeks, and that would be raising the bar a lot more higher. You can come comfortably in your night pajamas, in the way you are dressed up, and all celebrate this, because this is something that's an open talk, open platform. And let's have all the positivity to spread across the globe and see where all we can go, because this is something that's special to me. And we all would be having a digital magazine soon, so that we all have columns and we all can raise the bar a lot more higher for the topics that are not talked about, but something that creates an identity within you for who you are. So be who you are. Stay tuned for deep talks. And this was Gehna in conversation with Gurleen. And that's we both wishing you a fantastic night ahead, with all the dreams that can come into reality. And only for the ones who missed this episode, please watch this episode, because this is 2021 kicking off for everybody and for Gurleen in a brighter and more positive way. Thanks a lot, Gehna, for joining me. It was an honor.
Thank you. Honor was
God
mine. God bless you.